The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Elias Stone, a human cleric.
I'm Connor Shenold. I play Sable, a half-elf rogue.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play August E. Greymoor, a human fighter.
I'm Carrie Hester, and I play Moxie, a tiefling bard.
And I'm Brooke Bullock, your DM. Please join us as we explore the curse of the Clockwork City. We find our heroes in an abandoned warehouse confronting Reynard and a man named Greeley and a couple of goons. Greeley has been shoved out of a secret door, now being guarded by one of those henchmen, Sable, in conflict with him. Meanwhile, Moxie is standing guard over the unconscious Reynard, while Dr. Stone and August have closed upon the other henchman, who has dropped his crossbow and pulled out a short sword. We are at the top of the initiative order, and Sable.
So, I know that there's a secret door here. I would like to try and figure out how to open the secret door.
That gentleman is standing there, kind of in your way.
Both of my perception and investigation is the same, so a 12.
Because you saw the mechanism basically kind of work, yeah, there's very easily, you can see there's a wooden slat that pushes in, and then the door must slide.
Okay. So he's there. Does it look like any way that I could slip past him? Is he got like his back pressed up against the door?
He's standing in front of it, just off to the side slightly. He's like half covering the door. So you could try.
Okay, I will actually use my bonus action to slip into stealth. Modified 20.
Yes, it is shadowy. The only torchlight is kind of in the center of the room that has been dropped by Reynard, and so you are definitely in shadows over here.
Okay, I will slip past him and press my hand against that door.
Alrighty, he somehow senses you, natural 20 on the die, and as you move, he's going to take a roll of attack at you. 18 on the die?
That hits.
Okay, stabbing at you for a total of 6 points of damage.
Are you counting my action as just looking at the door?
No.
So I've got my rapier in hand. He attacked me, so I'm going to swing at him. A 16 to hit.
That is, yeah.
So 10 points of piercing.
He is hurt, definitely bloody.
And that is it for me.
Alrighty. August, you are about 20 feet away down the wall to where that other thug was at. He has dropped his crossbow as you guys approached and has pulled out a mace.
Who do you work for? You said it wasn't Reynard. Who do you answer to?
Not you, for sure.
Well, you'll answer to my steel. 11.
That's a miss.
But I didn't miss. I grazed him. 6.
That's a graze across the shoulder, pretty deep cut just underneath his chain shirt coming down his sleeve. So pretty deep cut on his forearm. So Dr. Stone.
I just realized I don't want to be anywhere near here. I don't know why I ran up here. It seemed like you were in trouble, August, but you seem to have this well in hand. So I will do a shocking grasp, which is a 22 to hit.
Yes, it is.
1 point of damage.
Ouch!
Oh, you're trying to back up and it just kind of...
Yeah, 1 point of lightning damage, yes. But he has no opportunity attack for the next round. So, I'm going to back up over to where Moxie is. Moxie, if you want to get into this little tussle, I can sit here and watch Shenold and I can tie him up, and that is my turn.
Excellent. The two thugs are each going to attack. One swinging at Sable and missing completely with a 9. And the other one, having August in range, attacks. And that is an 18 on the die for a 22.
That hits.
Swinging his mace, 7 points of damage.
I'm fine.
Excellent. Kiri, you have Moxie trading places perhaps with Dr. Stone, or at least freeing you up.
Which fight looks more desperate?
Roll me a little perception check.
A dirty 20.
It seems like Sable has his man well in control, well
in
bloodied,
hand.
well bloodied.
So I guess I'll go over to August. And let's see if I can try to punch this guy in the face. That's a 9, so that missed. But we'll do our offhand, so 16.
That's just enough.
And so then that is just fist damage. So it's just 1d6. 1 damage.
1. Oh, this guy is pretty dexterous. He moved out of the way of the glaive and got grazed, and he leans back. You just barely clip him on what could have been a really good hit.
Pass turn.
Back up at the top of the round, Sable.
I think I'm just gonna try and take this guy out. I hit him with my rapier. I have advantage. The 18 to hit.
It does.
And so now I have sneak attack. 12 points of piercing.
How does Sable dispatch him?
He's in my way. I'm getting just a touch a little frustrated because he's just being a nuisance, and I just full on just stab. And then also, bonus action, I'm gonna throw my dagger at the other guy.
I swear to God, if he kills this guy, we're gonna look so bad.
You never know. 19 plus 6, max damage for 7.
You hit him in the upper shoulder blade. He's like, ah, but still up. Very nicely done. August E. Greymoor.
Looks like your numbers are going down. Are you sure you don't want to reconsider my question?
Nothing to say to you.
Then swing. So, I barely hit him for 6 points of damage,
Okay, he's looking pretty wobbly.
and I swing it around. 22 to hit.
A solid hit.
Max damage, 4 points.
Awesome. How did you dispatch him?
The scratch I gave him, he instantly reacted and threw his hand up to the side of his face to cover it. And I bashed the stick into his hand, which went into his head, which went into the wall.
And he collapses.
I turn back and look at Renard's body, and has it moved?
Renard has not. Dr. Stone, you've walked over by Renard.
Now I'm starting to tie him up.
Yes. Would you like to do any type of sleight of hand check to see how successful you are with that?
Sable will judge you.
Not gonna be good. 10.
Okay, very good. So you tie him up. We're out of combat, so we can move a little bit more freely. So there's a torch laying on the ground in the center of the room. The ladder is about 20 feet away to the south of that. Renard is there unconscious. Dr. Stone has just tied him up. Sable is over by a secret door. He hasn't opened it yet, but he knows there's a secret door there. About at 2 o'clock or so in the wall from where the torch in the center of the room is, and Renard's body.
I'm going to search Renard.
Okay. On Renard, you find 11 gold pieces. It appears to be mundane weapons. There are a couple of vials with red liquid in them.
I'll just hand those over to the doc.
Can I just do a quick arcana to see if those are healing potions?
You may indeed.
24.
100%. So just your common, common healing. Yep, 2 common healing potions. Last but not least, roll me a perception check. See how well you search this man.
Can I assist him? To
Yeah,
give you advantage?
sure, you
I'm going
can.
to assist you, give you advantage. I'll give you guidance. D4.
23.
Fantastic. You know just where to look. His guardsman's vest has kind of an inner secret pocket, and you check it, and inside you find a key.
Okay. I also know right where to look for his gloves.
He is wearing the gloves.
They are mine now.
There we go. I knew you were going to take them.
Displayed proudly on the opposite side of my belt from mine. So when I find the key, Sable,
August,
do you still have some of that shiv?
I do. Thinking about planting.
The answer to that is, Dr. Stone, could I have one of those vials back?
Hold on, you want an empty vial.
Yes. So that is my plan. 2 doses. 1 here, 1 just in the corner of his mouth.
Should be enough. Keeping him here?
That's the thought. So outside of the game, do we want to wake him up and talk to him? I really don't.
No.
But we got to make sure that he is found while under the influence.
Everything is still going on outside, right?
No, it's been hours have
they've
passed.
dispersed.
They've all
Okay.
dispersed. Things are quiet. Reynard evidently returned to the scene of the crime.
So theoretically, we could leave him and come back, but Greeley's going to be long gone down this tunnel wherever it
Okay.
goes.
So yes, I want to dope him, and I want it to be messy. So it's on his clothes and whatever, and I want to put some in this vial, and then put this vial back prominently on his belt. And now we need a cot and a blanket.
Why don't we just put him out on the front porch?
We need to put him somewhere where someone that
Finds him.
matters is going to find him.
What if, just as we wake him up, Moxie suggests he goes back to the guards?
Oh, I could cast suggestion.
Whatever we do, we should do fast. I'd like to catch up with Greeley. I'm hoping, like, as we wake him up, he's still a little groggy enough that the suggestion takes.
Yeah, I thought you were totally gonna pour down his throat, right? Yeah, so as you do so, why don't you do a couple of rolls for me? Roll a d20 and let me know what the result is.
18.
Okay. We'll say that you don't notice any instant effects, and as you're thinking back in your memory, Reynard was a pretty healthy guy, pretty hardy. He could handle his alcohol and such, so.
But I did make sure it was sloppy and some spilled out and got on him. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Moxie, could you and Dr. Stone take a look out back and make sure all is clear?
Okay.
For sure.
They step away.
And I look over to Sable and I say, secrets. Sometimes we need to let them go. And I reach into a pouch pocket I have and I pull out 2 cubes at the same time. I cover Renard's mouth, and just under his nose, I crush these 2 doses together, and a little bit of spark happens, and a very light powder right in his nostril path where he's breathing. That's right. Breathe it all in. He starts to struggle, all strength roll, and
Even though he's unconscious, you feel his body give like a little shimmy and shake and flinch. Whatever that is seemed to have an effect.
then I'll clean my fingers on the sides of his nostrils, on the outsides of his nostrils. There, that's a good lad. Help me get him up.
Yeah.
Then when Moxie gets back, she has a few words for you, and then you'll be on your way. We'll untie you and let you go.
His eyes flutter open and he's like, he's looking around, he's trying to focus and trying to see and Augie, what are you doing? Augie, it's not going to end well for you, man.
No, I'm helping you get home. You
I helped. Oh,
were just laying here on the floor.
you attacked me. You attacked a city guard.
Eh, maybe I did.
He weakly tries to sit up a little bit, so
But look around. Do you see any witnesses to that?
glances around. You can tell he's trying to, like someone who just woke
I
up.
would slap the
hard
snot
asleep.
out of him and say, "Focus, Renaud. Do you see anyone around who can speak for you?" And I motion to a couple of the dead.
And his brow furrows, and he's like, "You're so gonna go down for
Oh,
this,
I know.
Augie. You're
Yes.
gonna go down.
Oh, I'll hit bottom.
And this time it's
Yes.
gonna be for real. I've got
Yes,
you.
for real.
I got you
do.
good."
You've got me so. I don't know what I'm going to do.
What?
Oh, you've got a little something here. I was just a good citizen walking by and saw you laying here in the window. Moxie!
We come back in.
He stares daggers, says Moxie as she starts, and Dr. Stone, perhaps as they start walking into the dim light and then the brighter light of the torch.
Out of character question. Can I do a medicine check to see if
Oh yeah.
I feel like he is got his wits about him? I feel like maybe he's a little bit more suggestible. 19.
Yeah, you can tell by the way his eyes are darting and such that he is beginning to be under the effects of something.
Seems
for
a
sure.
little suggestible, maybe.
Yep.
Okay, so Moxie starts to reach around in her little fanny pack as she's getting ready to do the spell. Hey, August, who would it be most beneficial for Mr. Reynard here to go find and confess to?
So Croft would probably be the person. You're not completely sure about her involvement, but you know from the past her sense of justice.
So what I think was, I don't know that she's on my side. I know she's on the side of justice
Yes.
and showing up jacked up. Yes, Moxie, good idea. I see where you're going with this. I believe Commander Croft is who he should report to immediately.
Excellent. So Moxie is going to stand directly in front of Reynard, maybe kneel down so they're eye to eye.
And he leers that smile. He's like, oh, hey, from the casino.
Don't try to hey from the casino me. You didn't laugh at my joke earlier.
Is he bleeding from the fight?
A little.
Excuse me, Moxie. Let me clean him up a little bit. Pull the gloves up, his gloves, and wipe his own blood on them. But I do this from the side where he can't see me. He can't see that it's the gloves I'm using.
Okay.
Yeah. And I put them back in my belt, and I take a few steps away. All yours.
And we're gonna make eye contact. And I'm gonna say, okay, here's what you're gonna do. Go to Commander Croft. Confess to your worst crime. And do not deny you are on drugs. Do this now. So let's see how that goes. It is a wisdom 14.
An 8 on the die. Yes. You see, this frustration, this anger and stuff fade a little bit, and he gets that very placid look. And it's like, right, I have things to confess. And I've been taking drugs.
Indeed you have.
I'll untie the ropes from around him.
And he pursues the suggestion to the best of his ability for the next 8 hours, unless it happens before then, in which case it falls off when he completes what I have asked him to do, which is confess his worst crime, do not deny being on drugs, to Commander Croft now.
He gets up, looks around, reaches down to pick up his sword, and slides it back into the sheath, and then pats his waist, and then looks up at Moxie. Can't find my gloves. Where are my gloves?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey, you lost them.
The drugs must be kicking in, because he's like, oh, well, I'll have to, she won't like that either.
Oh no, I hate to think you're starting off on a bad foot.
I have to go now. I have to go now and confess my crimes.
Okay, have a good confession then, bud.
Okay. And he turns away from you and starts walking toward the front door of the warehouse, stepping into the dim light away from the torch, and then you hear, the door open. Standing alone in a warehouse.
So there's a secret door?
Do you think the secret key opens it?
I know how to open it. That key must be for something else.
Perhaps. I'll tuck it away.
But we should definitely get after Greeley.
How big is the key?
It's normal kind
Normal
of skeleton.
key size?
It's kind of skeleton
door
key
size,
yeah.
Not like tiny little chest key or something.
Nope.
But, Mox,
Oh, yeah?
now would be a good time for you to slip away. Don't want to involve you in bigger picture
See, I
stuff.
see what you're saying, and let me tell you, I appreciate it. But it's Melody.
She's back at your bar, isn't she?
I can't. Rhapsody would never forgive me if I let other girls like Melody fall to the same fate. We've got to find this stuff. I can't run a bar and not remember why that boss got started in the first place. So, let's go after the man in the dress.
All right. Just remember I gave you an out. And I'll walk over to the door and press that plank to open it.
So you push the little panel button and the door pops in, and then you can easily slide it to the left. And in so doing, there is a tunnel behind there. It's pitch black, but you can see that it's roughly hewn stone. And you lean in and look left and right, or?
Yeah, so I know I damaged him pretty good. He should, even though it's only black and white vision and dark, I'm looking for that kind of blood trail.
You betcha. So roll that D20.
14?
Oh yeah, you can easily see. So there's a stone wall directly across from this secret door entrance. It's only about 5 feet wide. Looking left and right, you see that it goes as far as you can tell, 60 feet with your dark vision in both directions, east and west. And it smells like damp stone, maybe a tiny hint of rust. The air's not as stale as you would expect it to be. And the height of this tunnel is just above average human. An average human can just barely walk in there. without having to kneel down or anything, you can easily see some blood tracks that go off to the right.
Toward the east?
Yes.
So it's just basically a few feet in and then T-section.
Yeah, the secret door is the entry point to this left and right hallway, so.
I'm going to creep ahead of them and get out of the range of the lantern light and keep following the trail. Do you want to stealth?
Yeah, and let's do anybody who wants to like step up to the doorway. I know that August the human can't see and Dr. Stone can't see very far without lantern light, but Moxie and Sable, you guys can see that way. Not to tell you what to do, but you could turn the lantern the other direction.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Very good. So everybody who wants to, roll me some perception checks as you step into this narrow hallway.
16.
5.
21.
18.
Just so you know, Brooke,
Yes.
my stealth is a 23.
Okay, fantastic. Everybody who rolled above a 12, this is old stonework, probably human construction of some things. Dr. Stone's looking off to the west, to the left, and there's all kinds of cobwebs and such, but this tunnel appears to be roughly hewn out of the center of the city wall and goes just as far as your lamplight can see in that direction. It's straight, it's narrow, about 60 feet down, just at the edge of your vision with the bullseye and dim light. It looks like maybe there's a little, like something irregular in the wall. Like it's not a turn, it keeps going, but maybe there's like an alcove or something. And to the right, Sable, as you're sneaking down that way, definitely you can see that about every 30 feet in the opposite direction on the east side, about every 30 feet down the tunnel or so, there's some type of little irregular alcove, and assuming you move on up to that distance or so. And sure enough, it's not necessarily a branch, but it is like an alcove as you get there, and you can see that it's like this crawl space, and you can smell like the whisper of warm spiced air, like cooking spices or something that's maybe drifting in this alcove. The tunnel keeps on going, and you can see that on down there's another one of these little alcove type things, probably based on the structure of what you see. You could pause here, you could keep going, you could go back, get the others, whatever you want to do.
I'm just basically kind of scouting ahead.
Okay, Dr. Stone, you gonna stay with the group, or are you gonna go in the opposite direction?
No, we're going to go with, but we're following behind Sable at a distance that we know that we've gotten to know Sable a little bit, to know that he's going to be better off for as far in front of us as possible.
You
to
bet.
do as much damage as possible. So we will stay back as far as we can, and if anything happens, we'll wait for a signal.
Yeah, excellent. Just as you start moving down in the darkness ahead of Sable somewhere, you can hear like the clink, 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 maybe of like a chain, and then the clang of metal on stone. So you keep on moving, another 30 feet down, and there's another one of those little alcoves. This one is more of a shaft that you could step into, and up above, about 5 feet up this shaft, you can see the edge of a broken ladder that's up that way, up into darkness. Of course, with your dark vision, you can see that there's like a wooden panel at the top of this ladder that's a little bit out of reach up there. Moving on, the next couple of alcoves are similar. The alcoves look hastily constructed. They don't have the same expertise as whatever has hewn the center of the wall here. These little alcoves look more hastily constructed. But you move down a couple of more, you've gone like 120 feet or so from where you have entered, and that's when you see an alcove that's framed with some dark wood beams around it, and set just past those beams into the stonework itself is a rusted iron portcullis, and its thick bars are deep into vertical grooves or tracks on the side. And just beyond this gate, you can see there is a spiral staircase that goes down into the darkness.
Were we all this time tracking the blood?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Does August, just from being who he is, have any idea where he is?
Yeah, this very clearly is something that has been hewn out of like the 20-foot wide city wall. This passage has been hewn out of the middle of it. You would be somewhere along where the city wall picks up from the docks and starts coming around on the southeast side of the city. That's where you're at.
Would I know anything about like what the primary purpose of these alcoves are, being from a society?
Roll and let's see.
Okay, 8.
You have never heard of anything like this hidden inside of the city walls, but just your general knowledge of stuff, yeah, these are all like entry points, possibly out onto the street or maybe into other buildings. They're fairly close together at 30 feet.
So they're almost like street level sewers.
Kind
to where
of.
you could get from place to place without
being seen, yeah. Yeah, they're not actually...
Right, they're not underground.
They're not underground,
and
and
get from place to place.
It's not a refuge thing, but it's definitely a way to get to place to place.
Does the blood trail stop at the portcullis, or does it go down the spiral staircase?
At Blood Trail, there's a little bit more, a few more drips, and doesn't seem to extend on to the east anymore. So it definitely does appear that someone stood here for a moment and then stepped through.
I'm not gonna touch it just yet. I just wanted to inspect the portcullis. So that's an 18, I guess, investigation to try and see how it opens.
Okay. With that, you notice that there is a loose stone, just about shoulder height.
I imagine the noise this will make, but I mean, I'm scouting ahead, so I'll go ahead and press the stone.
It doesn't seem to go in.
Okay.
But you think you might be able to pull.
Pull out, yeah. Okay.
So it pulls out, and inside's a little cubby hole, and inside that is a lever.
Red Dirt D&D Curse of the Clockwork City is Brooke Bullock as our Dungeon Master, Kiri Hester as Moxie, Connor Shenold as Sable, Johnny Payne as August E. Greymoor, and I'm Michael Cross as Dr. Elias Stone. Our theme music comes from Ovani Sound. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Jeffrey McBride, Monument Studios, Describe.com, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by ST Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you are enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we discover more secrets in the Clockwork City.